the students of HASAP Heritage Schools, all the way from Cairo, Abuja. Could you please rise? Round of applause for them. Thank you for coming. Kindly take your seats. Also in the gallery are students of Heritage Creativity Schools Limited from North Bank, Makodi, Benue State. Round of applause for them. Honorable Jeff, you are not clapping. Are you jealous that they're not from your constituency? Okay. Thank you for coming. Kindly take your seats. Any member who has a petition to present may please rise to do so. Any petition? No petition. Okay, Honorable Timothy Golu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my colleagues. Honorable Timothy Simon Golu is my name, and I represent my Shinkan and Federal constituency of Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from one Ms. Eze Charity. Mrs. Eze Charity, who was a dismissed female soldier, petitioning this house, seeking for the intervention of this house to listen to her complaint so that the army authorities can reinstate her back to her organization. With your permission, Mr. Speaker, I seek to tender this petition before the house.
Please proceed and lay the petition. Any more petitions? Well, any member who is on the floor today has waived his right to present a petition tomorrow morning. So I'm taking statistics of members that are here now. I'm not yet Honorable Dan is here. Unfortunately, Honorable Ijo is not here. Petition referred to the Committee on Public Petitions. The presentation of report. Honorable Member, point of order from Honorable Magbila.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My very honorable colleagues, I am Mark Tese Bila, representing Way East, Way West Federal Constituency of Benue State. Mr. Speaker, my point of order is premised on Order 8 through 4, matters of urgent public importance. It has to do with my prayer that this House halt any renewal of the contract of the project coordinator of the World Bank-sponsored Growth and Employment project, which is supposed to be terminated tomorrow, and to revert to status quo ante in the best interest of Nigeria. Suspend the relevant rules so I can take this matter immediately. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconded to the first limb of the motion, the matter be considered urgent. Honorable Kazim.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Kazim. I represent Abeokuta North of Afeni Owode and Odeda. I rise to support the motion moved by my colleagues, Magbila, for all the rules to be suspended so he can take his matter as urgent request. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Seconded to the second limb of the motion, we suspend our rules to enable him to take the motion now. Honorable Soyinka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Soyinka Olatuji, representing the very good people of Suluri 2 Federal Constituency, the sister constituency of our great leader, rise to lend my voice to second the second leg of the motion moved by my colleague. I so moved.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Magbila, you can now move your motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my honorable colleagues. I rise to move this motion to halt any further renewal of the Growth and Employment Project Coordinator's contract and revert to status quo ante in the best interest of Nigeria. The House notes that the Growth and Employment Project was conceptualized by the federal government and funded by the World Bank through a concessionary loan of $160 million under the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment to create jobs and increase non-oil growth through the empowerment of 4,000 SMEs across the country in specific high-potential value chain sectors. After approval by the National Assembly in 2013, the Growth and Employment Project was first headed by a project coordinator who was a serving director in the Federal Civil Service in line with the agreed terms of the project to ensure accountability to the federal government, protection of the interests of the country, cost effectiveness in project implementation and capacity building within the civil service. The House is concerned that instead of posting another capable director to GEM after the retirement from the Federal Civil Service in January 2017 of the first GEM project coordinator, the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, with the buy-in of the World Bank, engaged a consultant who is alleged to be one of the two employees of a firm alleged to be owned by this current minister on contract with a monthly salary of 4.7 million naira paid from the funds intended for the development of SMEs across the country. The House is aware of the impending expiration of the one-year contract of the current GEM project coordinator on Thursday, 15th February 2018, which is tomorrow, and the allegations that the minister, in collaboration with the World Bank, are on the verge of renewing his contract for a further term of 2 years, even though it has cost the nation about 60 million from the SME funds for this initial one-year contract, and it will cost about 120 million for the alleged 2-year extension, especially when this is a position that is originally intended to be occupied by a serving director within the Federal Civil Service, as there are no particular specialized skills that a consultant provides that a capable director cannot provide, perhaps even with a greater sense of commitment and responsibility, considering the impending end of this project in September 2018. The House is worried at the allegations that the alleged renewal of the GEM project coordinator's contract is intended to ensure the illegal diversion of $35 million from the project funds for the creation of an SME fund proposed by this same project coordinator after only 3 months into his contract to dispense between $250,000 to $2 million to only 23 unidentified companies, without legislative approval and contrary to the initially proposed scope of the project, which is currently a subject of investigation by this Honorable House. The House therefore resolves to mandate the Ministers of Industry, Trade and Investment and Finance and the World Bank not to renew or extend the contract of the current GEM project coordinator, and for the concerned ministers to immediately liaise with the head of service to identify a capable director and assistant director to be posted to occupy the position of GEM project coordinator and assistant project coordinator after the expiration of the contract of the current consultant. The House also resolves to mandate the existing joint committee of the House Committees on Finance, Industry, Debt, Aids and Loans to investigate the circumstances surrounding the engagement of a consultant as the GEM project coordinator and the approval of the consultant's remuneration contrary to the original plan for the management of the project. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Dennis Amadi.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Dennis Namodi Abu. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by my honorable colleague.
Honorable Macbilla, now lead the debate, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my very honorable colleagues. The Growth and Employment Project is sponsored by the World Bank and is domiciled with the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. It is a laudable project that involves disbursing startup grants to 4,000 SMEs all across the country. Now, it is interesting to note that at the initiation of this project, a director from the Federal Civil Service was the project coordinator, and that was the term, part of the terms of the project. But incidentally, in January last year, when he retired from the service, the current Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment brought in somebody else as a consultant to head that position. And Nigeria is currently paying that person. He came in barely 3 months into his tenure. He proposed to change the scope of the project, which was approved by the National Assembly. So without recourse to this National Assembly, he proposed to change the project and allocate between $250,000 to $2 million to only 22 companies against the 4,000 that was the original target of the project. So my prayer here is that we, as a responsible house representing the interest of this country, to stop any further renewal and to ask for us to revert to the status quo ante, where a director who will be responsible to this nation is made the project coordinator, so that this project will be implemented according to its original scope. It is a concern to me and other Nigerians that such a laudable project is being transformed into something that will be of benefit to only 22 companies in the entire country. So now this is what the essence of this motion is about. The project coordinator's term is supposed to end tomorrow, 15th of February, and I think that the best thing in the interest of Nigeria is for the status quo ante to be maintained and for a director to be moved to head this project. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues.
Honorable Chika Adamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, I'm Abubakar Chika Adamu. I represent Shirora Kimiya Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. First of all, I want to thank my good friend Bakbila for bringing this all-important motion. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I want also to take note of one thing. Even in the World Bank project, they hate political interference. I did such work, and it is a level of political impunity for either a minister or whoever is concerned to appoint a consultant for such kind of project. Already, the project, the World Bank is the consultant to such project. The World Bank is the one who provides all the capacity building as regard to such project. In fact, for the purpose of continuity, the World Bank always frown at appointing a consultant or a political person to head such project. All you need to do is to advertise within the civil service. There are qualified hands for the purpose of continuity to carry out these jobs. This job transit from one name to the other. Always, when they finish with a particular project this year, another project will come. And this is a grant. It's not even a free money, it's a grant, and it is a public fund. And therefore, there is no officer, either he is a minister or whosoever he will be, that now will to skew that job to ensure only somebody for his office benefit from it, and at the same time in implementation, you can see how they skew what is supposed to be for about 4,000, but about 22 people are given such projects to implement. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we need to be very serious on this issue. I think we need to stop all this kind of political impunity so that it should serve as a deterrent to others. I believe when the civil service is given opportunity and is advertised, I believe every civil servant can now apply and we can get the best out of the civil service. It's not even skewed. And it is this secrecy of employment that is bringing about all this kind of thing. Usually there is supposed to be an internal memo within the office of the head of service, and it can be sent to all MDAs. For people who feel that they are qualified will apply, and at the same time they will be granted that permission to head such agencies or such projects. So, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I call on all of us to please support this so that this impunity with public funds should